Right then, in this video we're going to be taking a look at different shape lifts. Now the most common shape of lift is square or rectangle, but to be honest that's a bit boring, so let's take a look at some more interesting shapes. So one shape of lift you get is circle lifts. Now these are very interesting, actually the most custom of all, because they've got circular doors and they have to have made this the exact shape to actually fit round a lift. Now then they have to have beam sensors that still work despite the door moving like this. These are extremely interesting. And another variant of circle lift is express button shape lift. Although that said, these have got nothing to do with express, they're just the shape of the express button, but these are installed by any company. But it's basically just a circle lift with a straight bit in the middle.
This lift is going down.
That is so strange, it's express button shape.
Doors closing.
Slow. Oh, weird.
Doors opening.
Express button shaped lift. And also you can get octagon shaped lifts, such as the lifts in the Woolwich and Greenwich foot tunnels. Because they could have had a round lift, but this makes it more awkward with the engineering, so having an octagon lift makes it slightly more simpler to design and manufacture. Now the next type of lift is very rare. I've only ever seen one of these once, and that is the triangle shaped lift in Grand Bali Hotel in Benidorm in Spain. It's triangle! Triangle lift! It's a telescopic hydraulic. That is weird. I like it because I like weird stuff. Slow levelling. Weird lift. The weirder the better. And the next shape of lift is very strange. It is the parallelogram shaped lift in New York in America. It's a weird shaped lift. Hydraulic. Look at that. How are doors going at? Oh, weird door layout. This is weird. Wow. Now another type of lift is for retrofits, for putting a lift in the middle of the staircase in old buildings, and in places like Copenhagen these can have very custom shapes to match the unusual shape of the shaft the lift's going in. Okay. Cool. There's temperamental. I like it. Look at the shape of that. If I stand here, look at that. That's really fitting into the space of the stairwell. Now talking of space-saving lifts, another type of lift is where you have two lifts in a circular shaft. So both lifts have cutouts on them, slightly like a semicircle because it's fitting in half of a shaft. And the other lift in the set is in the mirror image of this. Very classic. Now actually switching to wide, let's get a wide view of going up this lift. Iron Mountain. Now these sometimes have doors between the two lifts, so if one lift gets stuck, you bring the other lift to its level, then transfer passengers directly between the two lifts.
See through.
Wow, yes you can see through. Oh, that's a good view. And if we take a look on top of these, notice that these actually have a diagonal chassis. There's your lift. Goose Street Bunker Lift Surf. We are at the secret floor. Lift used to stop here. So let's now talk about shaftless lifts. These go on the outsides of buildings as a decorative feature. Now one type of shaftless lift is where it's got diagonals and a back, so it's not perfectly round. It's picking Saturday, so okay. And another type of shaftless lift is where it's got a circular round back, which actually looks much nicer.
Las puertas se están cerrando.
Stentergate. It's like we're back in England.
Yeah.
Whee! That 2, is that 2.5? No, that 2.
Yes, buddy.
Woo! Then, a very unusual type of shaftless lift is the T-shaped lifts in the glades in Bromley. So the back of the lift, which is the scenic part, is actually spread out to the sides, which is a very unusual shape, but looks very nice. Now, another type of shaftless lift is the floating shaftless lift. This is where two sides at 90-degree angles are the shaftless sides, making a lift look like it's floating, but these cannot have a regular chassis. These have to have a side chassis. Now, these are square lifts, so that's not interesting, but I managed to find one floating lift where they've actually made it round, making it a very unusual shape. And finally, we got the diagonal chassis. This is where you've got doors at 90 degrees from each other, so a chassis has to go diagonal across the lift. So the diagonals of the chassis have to have a cutout to fit in the chassis, making these technically hexagon shaped lifts. Diagonal! Yeah, diagonal. 10 floors? Well, only got 5, I didn't think it was so high. Really big cutout on that diagonal, on that side. It's weird, it is. And let's get on top of it. Whee! Look at that chassis. So that safe doors only opens on fire mode?
Yeah.
That's weird. So what is your favourite shape of lift? Leave a comment in the comment section.